welcome to Doors and Corners, a sci-fi and fantasy film commentary podcast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Zach. And every Friday we sit down and watch a science fiction or fantasy film and give our 2 cents on its quality, production, story, and trivia.
We watch the film together, but without sounds or visuals provided to avoid copyright issues. But if you do have access, we encourage you to join us and follow along.
Here, we like to keep things casual, and there may be discussions of spoilers or sensitive materials or language. But we do try and keep things clean and family-friendly. Ultimately, the goal of this podcast is to create the experience of us all sitting down and watching this movie together.
So get ready to hit that play button, because we're about to get started.
Damn Doors and Corners, I mean, that's where they get you.
Well, welcome back to Doors and Corners. I'm Brian.
I'm Zach.
And tonight, we are dipping our toe back into animation for a fantastic movie, a movie that I love quite a bit. My kids all loved this. This was on the regular rotation. What are we watching tonight, Zach?
This is the Marvel and Disney original movie, Big Hero 6. Original movie, I mean, based loosely on a comic book, Big Hero 6. And I gotta say, I think that this movie is very good, but I also think it's purely reactionary to the superhero movies of the time, especially Iron Man, and our previously covered film, How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's a little bit of Iron Giant in here too? The spirit of?
Not purposefully. I think it's coincidental in their kind of mashup of Iron Man and How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, because I can see that. Because, I mean, there's definitely, a kid befriends, a dangerous robot with the heart of gold kind of thing, right? But no, this was, so I had no idea this movie was based on anything. This was just one of those movies that my kids were, of the right age. They were, I think, 5, 7, and 9 when this movie came out, something like that. And it was funny, and the action scenes were cool. Betamax was just a very lovable character. I mean, this is a kind of movie where I don't, I love it. I also don't think it's, very deep or anything. I think it's pretty just basic as far as storytelling goes. But it just does what it does really well in a way that I think adults can enjoy along with their kids, which is a huge plus when your kids want to watch things a lot. And at that time in my life, I was road tripping a lot with my kids because I was driving back and forth from California to Oregon with them. And so, and this is all, before your data plans could handle streaming. And so whenever we did a road trip, there was only enough room on the iPad. We had one iPad, and it was only enough room on it for 3 films. So each of the kids got to pick one movie I would download on Wi-Fi before the road trip, right? And those 3 movies, that was it. That was what we got for the trip. And and so you really are you kind of cling to the movies your kids want to watch that you don't hate. And so this was high up there for me of movies that I've probably listened to this movie more than I've seen it, honestly, while driving. Okay. So, but I mean, it's again, the jokes are fun. Betamax this is one of those quotable movies. I mean, I don't think anybody can reference a baby in our family without immediately, just Harry baby. It just, I know a lot of people do, and we're not unique by any means, but it's definitely in that category of quotable films that my kids grew up with, which is, I have the quotable films that I grew up with in my family, and then there's the quotable films from my kids, of the last 15 years, and it's special in a different way,
Yeah, no, I totally get that. This whole thing is actually based on a comic book that was mainline Marvel. It was a miniseries, but it actually took place in the mainline Marvel universe. And these characters, including Baymax, have crossed over with other superhero stuff, including Spider-Man. And so I was vaguely aware of it. I was vaguely aware of it when it was first coming out back in 2006. Oh no, sorry, not 2006. They had a big mainline run that started back in 2008, but they first appeared in 1999, following an X-Men character by the name of Sunfire, and it was Sunfire and the Big Hero 6. And these guys, I remember hearing that they were going to be adapting this Japanese team, because their whole thing is that they are a Japanese superhero team, into a movie. And I was just like, okay, that could be interesting. Lots of anime people out there, lots of weebs who are obsessed with Japanese culture. That has an audience. And they're like, oh, it's going to be an animated Disney project. And it's like, that's weird. Are they tying it into, like, other Marvel stuff and yada, yada, yada? So it was a really strange thing that I just kind of kept my mind, it was in the back of my mind, kept an eye on it. And then they come out with the trailer for it, and I'm like, the hell? And I'm like, it's How to Train Your Dragon. They take Baymax, it's almost like a creature in some things. He's a robot, but he's Hiro Hamada's personal bodyguard, butler, and chauffeur.
Yeah,
that was designed by Hiro's father, and he's so far removed. He can turn into a dragon. That's one of his main things
in the comic.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the differences, okay. It says just on Wikipedia, right? Baymax is an artificial synth former capable of synth transing his body into various forms, usually as a large humanoid male, a battle dragon, and an action mecha. This serves as his default form, designed to be less conspicuous in public while attending to Hiro's daily needs. He's essentially Alfred that can turn into a robot and a dragon.
Okay.
Like in the comics. So seeing the trailer for this, I had no doubt it was going to be good. I could just tell. It had that thing. But I was just so weirded out. I'm like, what the hell am I watching right now? And yeah, so really strange turnaround as I was exposed to this movie. I did see it in theaters. I thought it was really good. I was always shocked that they didn't have a sequel to it. And
yeah, I remember this being well received, right? And I think it did pretty good, right, financially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It made, like, okay, so its budget was like 165 million, right? Its box office was $657 million.
And
that's a lot of stinking money. That's a huge earning.
Well, and it probably didn't cost a ton, right? I'm assuming this isn't like more than 100 million to make this.
165.
Well, okay, all right, that's not nothing.
Yeah, well, this is the same team. The directors, they co-directed a whole bunch of other stuff. Don Hall and Chris Williams, they were the co-directors of Moana. Don Hall directed like a big Winnie the Pooh movie. But the other gentleman, Chris Williams, he directed the movie Bolt.
I remember that.
They both made Moana together. They made The Sea Beast, which is actually a really good animated movie that a lot of people don't pay much attention to because it was just kind of a direct-to-streaming thing for Netflix. Though Don Hall did go on to direct Strange World, which was crap.
Strange. I don't even remember that. It's
awful. It's like people got on its case because they're like, oh, they're just mad because they had a non-binary character and a gay couple, and it's like, no, it was a bad movie. It's just not good. Don Hall also made Raya and the Last Dragon, which was a very good movie that I think would have been better if the main dragon wasn't voiced by Awkwafina.
Okay.
Because I like Awkwafina. She's funny, but when you have a dragon that's chattering through the whole thing and it's voiced by Awkwafina that sounds like, you're listening to somebody through a cheese grater, it wasn't good.
She was the one in Shang-Chi, right?
Yes. Okay. I thought she was very good in Shang-Chi.
Yeah. I was just trying to remember to put the face with the name. I know who she was, but I just like...
Anyways, it's more the voice with the name.
A voice with the name? A face with the name. No, I'm... Yeah. This... I never understood why. I've never met anybody who's seen this movie. Everybody that I've met that's seen this movie is either neutral or positive on it. I've never met anybody who flat out like didn't like it. So it is odd, especially because this movie came out. What year did this movie come out?
This year.
This
This
year.
movie came out in the year of our Lord 2014.
So 2014, we are in prime. I mean, superhero fatigue is years away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's odd that this thing never got a sequel because
This thing made minimum $300 million profit, and we got a small television series in 2017.
I heard that was not great.
Tie-in comics. There were video games. There was never a sequel. Like, even going into some research, because I went through some news articles and some Reddit threads and stuff like that, and everybody's just like, yeah, they briefly talked about a sequel. That there's, the head animator, a guy by the name of Zach Parrish, talking about how they wanted more stories to be told, that there's a lot of potential. The beauty of animation is they can pick up the story anytime. We can go where we want. The directors talked about a sequel. They wanted to do it. The voice actors talked about it. But there's no information on why it never came about.
Well, 2014, I'm wondering...
12 years ago.
Yeah. Was that during the... I'm trying to think of... When was the first time that Bob Iger left Disney? And I think Chapin was the guy that took over for a while. And I think that was later. I think that was like more like 17 to 18. It was like right before COVID got going and the streaming, really started to get nuts. I think that was later. Trying to think of like shakeups at Disney. I'm trying to think of like things at Disney that might have...
I mean, his first departure was actually like 2020.
Okay, yeah, so it was later. It was later than I'm thinking.
Yeah, he was replaced by Chapek.
Yeah.
Chapek.
And anyways.
Chapek just fucked things up.
Yeah, he did.
Pardon my language.
Wow. A kid's movie too, Zach.
Sorry.
That's all right. But let's jump into this. I think we'll have plenty to say. I don't have nearly the behind-the-scenes knowledge that Zach does on this one. I have a lot of my kids' memories. Hey, they're not my childhood memories. I was definitely an adult in 2014.
Your child.
But yeah, a lot of memories of this. I mean, this is the kind of movie to me that just is. It's just funny. It's not a movie that's challenging or groundbreaking, but it's just fun. And it's just I've said this about sitcoms before. This is like my defense of sitcoms that people like Friends is a good example. Friends is a sitcom I will not defend for people who don't like it. I'm like, that's fine. I'm not gonna try to like. There's sitcoms I will defend. I'll be like, no, if you don't think this is good, you don't understand comedy. But there's other ones like Friends, for instance, that it makes me laugh out loud. And that if something can make me laugh out loud, I'll enjoy it. It doesn't always mean that I'll defend it as like something amazing that other people just don't get. But that's kind of like a big thing for me. And this is one of those movies that makes me laugh out loud multiple times. And so I like it. Maybe that's overly simplified, but it's how my brain works sometimes when it comes to these kind of things, especially with kid films. And I don't mean that in a demeaning way. I think that there's, plenty of kid stuff that is legitimately really good. But sometimes I just want to see some cool themes. You got redemption, you got heroism, you got a really fun Stargate reference in this. Whether it's intentional or not, I have no idea, but it's still there.
There's no chance in hell that wasn't an Easter egg. This movie, one of the things I was going to talk about, okay? Because I will not be able to point everything out because it'll just be me sitting here the entire time going, there's an Easter egg, there's an Easter egg, there's an Easter egg. Yeah. This movie may have more Easter eggs in it and references to other things than any film we have ever covered or possibly even any film I've ever seen. Okay?
Wow. Okay.
This is when Disney owned Marvel, so they've got Marvel Easter eggs everywhere. There's Disney Easter eggs everywhere, and tons of stuff. Like, virtually every scene has an Easter egg or reference to something else in it, or tribute.
Okay. To say, I think the most controversial thing about this film, right, is that it's got T.J. Miller in it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too.
All right. Well, let's get this going so we can talk while we watch. We got a brisk hour and 48 minutes. Do you want to give us a really fast rundown before we hit play?
I'm going to give you a really fast rundown. Woo. Where's my notes? Come back here. Big Hero 6, Year of Our Lord 2014. Oh, I already made that joke. PG, 1 hour and 42 minutes long. Co-directors, Don Hall and Chris Williams. Written by Jordan Roberts, not to be confused with Robert Jordan. Robert L. Baird and Daniel Gerson. There's also several others, but it's a whole thing. The stars of this are a little funny because most people haven't heard of them. There's Ryan Potter, Scott Adsit, Jamie Chung, Daniel Henney, the ever horrible T.J. Miller, Sus Bloke Alert, Damon Wayans Jr., Genesis Rodriguez, and then the people that we'll actually recognize, James Cromwell, Alan Tudyk, and Maya Rudolph.
I do love that this has Alan Tudyk in it.
Everything has Alan Tudyk.
I mean, he is Disney's good luck charm, but I think a lot of people think of him and they go through all the films that he's in, even if it's something as, silly as Hey Hey and Moana, and they forget about this.
Yeah. Well, he's good in this. I'm actually going to say that if any of his roles in Disney were to be replaced, whether it's the Duke of Wesselton, the Duke of Weaseltown in Zootopia, Hey Hey the Chicken, K2SO, all these other things, this is the role that I would actually replace because his voice acting as Alistair Cray is fine, but it's not something somebody else couldn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a fun man, by the way.
He's
at some point
great.
We already did Serenity, by the way. We got to talk about the Firefly news. We got to find a way to work that into a podcast. But we got to move along on this one.
Yeah. Ready to move along?
Ready to move along. As always, this is on Disney Plus. I don't think there's any other version of this, right? It's just the one version.
Nope.
All right. Gonna hit that play button in 3, 2, 1, go.
Play. Yeah.
DreamWorks.
Did you know that there's actually
Sorry.
For a second, I was just like, yeah, this is a DreamWorks movie. But did you know that Alan Tudyk was actually on a podcast with
Jonathan
Nathan
Frakes and Brent Spiner?
And Jonathan Frakes and Brent Spiner?
Well, so they have their own podcast, Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk, called Once We Were Spacemen, which is fantastic. And then Brent Spiner and Jonathan Frakes have their Droppin' Names podcast, which Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk were on together, which was a fantastic episode also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this featured the whole opening though.
Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
I actually, as much as I don't really care about Mickey Mouse per se, I actually love that opening because it is just a reminder that Disney is true. Like a lot of people, I'm not somebody who loves Disney a lot of the time, but you can't discount their importance to animation.
No, not at all.
So this very kind of Asian Western mix of architecture here in San Francisco is cool.
That was something I was going to talk about. The setting of this is actually the largest setting. I think it was beaten out later by Zootopia, but it's one of the largest settings that they have ever created and had to design from the ground up. This is San Francisco, which is a combination of San Francisco and Tokyo, because the original Big Hero 6 was entirely Japanese, right? And you would think what they were thinking was to have it something that Americans would more relate to. And so they created this mashup, and there's some background lore to it that was established in the TV show and just some of the notes behind the scenes that World War II ended a little bit differently, and it resulted in a whole bunch of Japanese people migrating to San Francisco and actually helping to rebuild San Francisco in a way that kind of meshed the two communities.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it works because San Francisco already has, obviously a very strong Asian population in it. See, again, this movie makes me laugh out loud, and I'm not ashamed. It's a funny movie.
Yeah.
This guy's great.
This is a really good start to a movie, because one of the things that I've been studying is how movies are written, and in order to kind of opening a movie is so important to set the tone for the rest of the film, because you either need to kind of deliver on the promise of the movie up front. to kind of show what you're doing, what you're into, and what to expect from the rest of the movie. One of the few exceptions to that is something like Predator. But the only way to really balance if you're not showing your premise right away is character. And this movie shows both premise and character because you're immediately beginning with sci-fi, robots, fighting, future stuff, but you're also getting so much character for the character of Hiro Hamada in that he's smart, he's got this robot, he plays kind of cute and naive, but he's very dangerous and a scammer.
Yeah. Oh, it.
Yeah, it's like he's...
Well, and this is also such a great example of show don't tell, right? Because they're telling you so much about his character, this world, the style of humor, the animation,
and also the style of action. Look at how well designed. Even just these two little robots. This is really good action, in the way that it's filmed. And right here we have a reference to
Stop hitting yourself.
The Incredibles. In how the arm moved and pulling it off like that, just like Mr. Incredible with the arm of the little robot at the beginning of that movie.
I apologize ahead of time. I'm just going to be enjoying this and laughing at it more than I probably should for a podcast, but I'll do my best.
Yeah. There's some people who think that some of these characters here at the beginning were references actually to characters found in the Yakuza video games that have been around since 2005. Like the lady there with the eye patch and the big guy there bear some significant resemblance to characters from the Yakuza franchise.
I always love the "Are you hurt? So I'm gonna smack you." It's an old joke, but it's good. I also it's such a cliche. I mean, you go way back into classic cinema, and the whole on a little Vespa, doing like high speed chase and peel outs when there's not a version of those ever made that can do that. But it looks so comical. You just go with it.
I love the character of Tadashi. I think he's super fun. When I was much more into writing, I had a writing project where I named the character Tadashi because I had a Japanese character, and I named him after this guy because I thought he was cool. But the voice actor for him is interesting to me. He's a guy by the name of Daniel Henney, and Daniel Henney has been in a whole bunch of things. He was in like X-Men Origins Wolverine. I remember he was this like really overly stylish gun ninja guy. But he was on the show Criminal Minds for several seasons, like 5 seasons. He was in the Wheel of Time TV series. Perfect casting for the character of Lan.
Oh, that's him.
Read those books?
Okay.
Yeah, he's really good, and he should be in more things, but he's not. And it's like, I genuinely think he has like star power potential, but he just, I don't know if it's Hollywood racism or what, but he's this good looking Asian guy, and he's just kind of a TV show dude.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard, and I think anymore too, as stars become harder to come by, it becomes harder to break into that level. We're gonna talk about Aunt Cass because she's in this.
Yeah,
too.
That's Maya Rudolph, Aunt Cass. I'm weirded out by Aunt Cass because there's some weird corners of the internet who are obsessed with the character of Aunt Cass. For those of you who are not watching, we just met Hiro and his brother Tadashi's Aunt Cass, Aunt Cassandra. And she's this 40-ish woman who is just very basic looking female character that they gave a little bit of cleavage and big hips. And there's certain corners of the internet who are just in love.
I get it. I'm not saying that those corners of the internet are anything other than horrible, but I also do get it because I would like Aunt Cass.
Well, I'm into 3D printing, right? And so I'm always going into these places where they're showing off new 3D printed models. And the amount of like, oh, look, here's an Aunt Cass 3D model that you can print. There's just certain animated characters that get this unusual amount of attention. And one of them is Aunt Cass, and another one is Dracula's daughter from the Hotel Transylvania series.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, she's an adult.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Just, I like the second one.
Is when you describe somebody as a daughter, it just sounds worse for some reason, regardless of their age.
Immortals.
Yeah. I do love this too. I love the whole idea. So like, there's a foundational idea here behind just, I mean, it's an old stereotype and a trope with superheroes, right? But just the idea of what are you gonna do with your knowledge, with your. I love this guy. I can relate to this so much. Not quite right. Anyways, but just the idea of showing him potential things he could be doing. I mean, there's just bum.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to. Okay. I'm going to be bad in this podcast because this movie does just make me laugh a lot. I'm sorry to keep saying that, but it's true.
Yeah. So a lot of these characters are actually straight out of the comic books, but their powers are different. The character of Honeylemon in the original comics is actually like a secret agent for Japan who worked with characters like Black Widow, who invented a like weird magic science bag. And
not get 500 Kelvin that fast. I'm just saying.
Yeah, 500 Kelvin is 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Which I know that doesn't seem much. But it's just like it's one of the rare areas where Kelvin and Fahrenheit almost overlap.
Yeah.
But I love her in this movie because they make her character super cute without being weird. And then her power, quotes, is one of the most clever and interesting I have ever seen in a movie. Like, the others have some, like, context that we've seen in other films in one way or another, but she's so unique in her chemistry bag.
Yeah, I can't think of another, at least mainline example that is comparable to her as far as, a power set, for lack of better terms, even though obviously it's not a power. It's her bag of tricks, quite literally.
Yeah.
All right, T.J. Miller. He's, you know what I kind of hate, actually? Is that he is a genuinely funny voice actor, and he's good at voice acting, and he's just such an awful person.
Yeah, he's one of those things where, I'll be totally honest, the first time I saw him, I knew that he was weird and gonna be creepy. Yeah, he does a lot of fun things, okay? He was in Deadpool, he was in all this other stuff. I remember that he was in Transformers 4, Age of Extinction. And apparently he ended up getting on Michael Bay's nerves so much that they actually rewrote the movie to kill him in the first third. Which I thought was really funny.
That is awesome. Well, Michael Bay is kind of famous for having a temper, so that I want the behind the scenes footage of that, because I remember T.J. Miller a lot actually from. Did you ever hear of the show Silicon Valley?
I've seen little bits of it. I remember that it had like the world's longest and most complex dick joke.
It did. So I've actually seen that entire show twice. I watched it myself, and then I actually showed it to Jen, and she enjoyed it. What's his name? Is it Judge? The guy who did Beavis and Butthead? Mike Judge?
I have no idea. Not my area.
Anyways, his whole kind of canceling happened during the last season of that show, and he mysteriously kind of vanished and was never seen from again.
Yeah.
Betamax is, talk about a character design for the least threatening thing you could possibly come up with, as far as just, I could design, I don't know, I love it, because
that's what they were going for. Yeah. They literally, their idea was, we need to make him a marshmallow.
Yeah.
And so the vinyl thing I thought was really smart, because most people know what a vinyl coating feels like in one way or another. It's so common. So it was really smart. The head design is super simple, but also relatable. It's based on a design of an old Japanese type of pot that has holes and a stripe across like that. and they morphed it into a head. Yeah, I just thought it was great. It's such a fun design. The voice is really good. It's a gentleman by the name of Scott Adsit. I always want to say Adist, but it's not. It's Adsit. And he's done all kinds of stuff. Nothing particularly like stand out through. He was on 30 Rock. That's about the only thing that you can really point to and be like, oh yeah, that guy who was on stuff. Otherwise, you just one episode of Ally McBeal, one episode of CSI Miami, Alias, Charmed, just little things. And then, yeah, just one of those actors.
I love the.
Here we have.
I was going to say, I love that Big Hero 6's charging station actually looks a lot like him in his armor later.
Baymax.
Did I say?
Team is Big Hero 6.
Sorry, Betamax. Ignore me.
Betamax. Baymax. Goodness, what is he? A tape deck from the 1980s?
But you know what? I'm old, man. Give me a break.
Okay, James Cromwell.
Oh, he's
Love
just
James.
yeah. He's somebody who, as much as he's obviously been in a ton of stuff, I wish he was in more. Like he's an actor who needed to be in more things.
Dude, he has been in almost every Star Trek since TNG.
Yeah. He's played a lot of aliens people don't realize.
Yeah. He played like 3 different aliens in, I want to say, Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
And then he was also, freaking Zefram Cochrane in Star Trek First Contact. I remember him first as Farmer Hoggett from Babe.
Pig. Pig. I just said Pig. Babe is the movie. Some Pig.
Babe is the movie.
Some Pig, though.
Pig.
That's from Charlotte's Web, though, I think, right? I'm thinking of Charlotte's Web with that reference.
What?
Some Pig. That's what Charlotte Webb wrote in her.
I've never seen Charlotte Webb. I
read the book?
The very concept. I don't like talking animal movies.
Well, no, I mean, it was a book way before it was that.
I don't like talking animal. So this movie has a lot of montages, and I love that they have that fake out montage.
I love the fact you can believe these guys are brothers, right?
Oh, very much so. In fact, the writer didn't actually have any brothers. He only had sisters. So they brought in members of the crew and interviewed them and had them like sit in a room and just talk about what it was like growing up with brothers. And would like run stuff by them to really make sure that their relationship was as realistic as possible.
I still want to know, okay.
I don't have any brothers, so
did he steal those trash cans from somebody?
I don't know. I mean, it can't be that hard to get trash cans.
Yeah. How did he fab the all the little microbots?
No,
because I mean,
these microbots here that are coming up are like the most terrifying technology possible. Like,
oh yeah,
he's coming in here and he's changing the world in probably the worst way. He's like, look at all this good stuff you could do, and you just know the government's going to destroy the world with what you've created, buddy.
Well, you think of just the worst case scenario or something like this. Well, anything that's super adaptive, the smaller it gets. I mean, that's why so many different sci-fi shows, right, have done the nanite, storyline, because nanites are terrifying. Because like, how do you defend against a robot smaller than a cell, right?
Yeah. Okay, did you know that the character of Honey Lemon is actually supposed to be like Latina?
Really?
She was written that way. She's voiced by a Latina. She has a couple of moments where she talks about French and Spanish and things like that. But they don't really make a big deal of that or sell that.
I would have just assumed from this animated movie, I just would have assumed that she was just white.
Mm-hmm. She's also the only one who pronounces Hiro's name correctly outside of like his brother, where it's supposed to be Hiro, which is the Japanese pronunciation, where everybody else just says Hiro instead of Hiro, which I know there is a difference, but
yeah.
But yeah, James Cromwell here is great, and he just always seems to be playing roles like this to me. I keep thinking about like his role in iRobot, right?
Yeah.
And he's almost like the opposite of iRobot.
It wiggled.
It wiggled.
Oh yes.
And yeah, so
All right.
this I want to look at the other stuff at this convention, to be honest. I like conventions like this, and they
Oh,
hold
yeah.
them in San Francisco. There's one coming up in July that I'd really like to go to called Open Sauce, that is 3D printing, and it's at a convention center just like this, and they obviously really did their research into San Francisco for it.
That is cool. My question always about this kind of stuff is power. Do they have an internal power source of some kind? Is it purely just
That's the question.
magnetic stuff? Because that is
Maybe.
so because that is the barrier to so many things right now. Like literally, if we could miniaturize and go high output, with electrical output, we would see a jump that we haven't seen since microprocessors came out.
Yeah,
If that one
the
thing got solved, because that is the chokehold of so many technological things right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just power.
Yeah, I mean, something this small, there's the theory that it could be friction based. But could you imagine how many jobs these microbots would put out of business? Yeah. Like plumbers, miners, electricians. Like, this is the AI of the blue collar.
Yeah. So did he just become Green Lantern?
Essentially, yes. In fact, if you go look at the movie The Eternals, they have a character in there whose name I can't recall off the top of my head. He's the black guy, who uses a very similar power as these microbots, and they show it in an almost Green Lantern-like manner.
The
Alistair Crane.
Yeah, I know this is a meme that's been going around quite a bit, but we want AI to take our the jobs like the laundry and the dishes. Not it's just that we have time to do art, not the other way around.
Right.
These though would be something where they could do menial tasks and you could have more time for the things you want to do. Okay, the noses in this movie, they got some noses in this. I'm just like noticing
They're intense. They're intense.
Like both
it
of these
helps
guys
differentiate the characters, though.
Oh yeah, because
Like-
one's just got this. He's got the Bruce Willis lines down around his lips. And just the and the other guy's just got like, he can put an eye out with that thing.
Yeah, he's got the pointy schnoz. The other guy, I love the very simple design of these guys' faces. That really, they do really well with creating this visual style that differentiates race in a way that doesn't go into like racism almost.
Yeah.
You can clearly tell these are supposed to be Caucasians. They have the square jaws, and the face almost tapers upward into a square shape, where the Asian characters, they have even though they have these huge almost anime eyes, their facial shape is very distinct. And I don't know, I really like the way that they do the animation in here and how they're able to do that kind of like subtly but effectively.
Yeah. Well, and there's just enough in a lot of the style decisions where you can continually see a little bit of that Asian influence. It's not anime per se, but just a little bit of that. While at the same time, it is still there's a Western style. They really managed to
tangled with a hint of anime.
Yeah. Well, they really managed to hit an art style that I think would do really well on both sides of the Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
Not yet. I'm too early.
No, it's
nerd school.
It's all
It's just okay. What do you think about? I was genuinely expecting a brother reveal towards the end of this. I was actually kind of happy that they let it be what it was.
I agree. I always thought that if they did a sequel to it, they would reveal that he's maybe not alive, but maybe like maybe sort of alive, or like his brain had been copied to a computer or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And He would almost be like the villain of the second one or something in a way. I don't know, but I like this. This is very much kind of an Uncle Ben,
It's a good shot, too.
Batman's parents killed type
Yeah.
of thing. And yeah, I like that they kept him dead.
Yeah, and
As
they
interesting
gave
as the
you
character was, you know?
they gave you enough time because I mean, this isn't based on even though it is based on a pre-existing thing, not one that people know about.
Mhm.
And they
And even this is completely made up for the movie.
okay. I mean, I have no idea, but they gave you enough to really sell the impact that this would have without overdoing it. We managed to get to that critical moment, about 20 minutes in, and that's just enough time to effectively establish how much this would affect, Hero,
Mhm.
without dragging this out for a long time. Because this is a
Yeah.
pretty efficient film. I mean, less than 2 hours. There's plenty of animated films that are pushing past 2 hours these days, and not all of them deserve it.
Yeah. Like, just, I don't know. I think that this one does so well in that. I don't know if you can hear my cat just screaming behind me. Goodness, Francis. But yeah, it is incredibly efficient, and everything that they've had before it is setting up everything that comes after, and it's sets up that pivotal superhero thing. Because one of the things that they were trying to do in the writing of that is that Tadashi is the one who should have been the superhero. He looks the part. He's in the position to be a superhero. You know that this guy could build his own power armor and be a god among men. But instead, he's using his abilities not to go be a crazy fighter dude, but he's building a medical robot. And it's like his brother takes his death and kind of interprets it into being almost like a cross between the reckless, crazy inventor that is Hero with what Tadashi was in trying to help people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, it is very efficient, and it's helped set it up, show, don't tell, in a really great way.
Well, and it's the one thing that I know that Bruce Wayne's dad was a doctor, and this is by no means is this the only time this has happened, but I liked the combination of not only just do something with your life, do something meaningful, but also specifically like you already kind of started talking about, just that because of what his brother was working on, the idea of helping people, the personality of Betamax, it's a good combination of a couple different tropes that I don't know. I like it.
It's
I like
a
it a lot.
great trope. The idea of the person who is inherently destructive being inspired by the person who wants to help is I mean, think of how many times it's been done across so many mediums, not just Batman, but I think of like smaller examples. Even there's the one episode of Game of Thrones that follows the Hound, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's mentored by the priest, played by the dude with the gravelly voice that's in everything. What is that guy's name?
Oh gosh.
Not Brian Cox. It's like Diet Brian Cox.
I forgot. I think I saw that episode once.
You know who I'm talking about. But it's just like his whole thing, and he tempers the mean warrior, and then that guy dies, murdered by bandits, and so naturally the Hound goes John Wick on him because
Oh yeah,
he must,
kills all of them
with an axe.
I love that he's still using like that chart is in hospitals right now.
Yeah, well, it's a very effective chart.
Yes.
Does
it hurt when I die? Oh, it's just good. This whole sequence is such an effective. It's very moving and heartwarming, but also genuinely funny.
Mm-hmm. And then everything that falls on him,
on a scale of just.
And everything that falls on him is like a reference to stuff. One of the things that we're going to see here in a minute is from Wreck-It Ralph 2. There's another thing that looks like a Doom guy. And like I said, there's already so many references and Easter eggs I haven't mentioned because just wouldn't have time to go through them all. It's nuts.
They also, I mean, I know again this is super cliche at this point, but the pacing of their back and forth, it's got a really nice, it's just got that humorous tempo to the dialogue.
Yeah.
Just like
So,
armpits and nobody knows. Nobody needs to hear. We all know.
yeah.
Oh gosh.
You know what I say?
I love
And
his
it's like the way that
clock
he
too.
compresses.
Yeah.
And it's just the physics that they play with Baymax
Oh,
is
gosh.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is interesting because I remember rewatching this movie recently, and I'm like, how did they get the plot go? I couldn't remember how they got the plot going again with him getting out of his funk and his depression. And so I forgot how fast they just jump into the villain.
Oh yeah.
Kabuki Mask Man, because he's got to follow his little microbot buddy. And again, it's very efficient storytelling. It reminds me of the type of storytelling you would get in like a young adult novel. It fits with that very well.
So the whole bit, just I'm going to, if it'll help you that you following his programming, if he's just follows his programming to because that's what's going to help him, and so this this very simple robot is just going to run off on an adventure like this. Of course, the classic car sounds, and I mean, there's again so many cliches, but they work. They're used a lot for a reason because they're funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she says his name right. No, not her. I thought for a second I heard that, but that you're talking about lemon.
Honey lemon.
Honey lemon.
Hot lemon? What is
Honey,
she, tea?
You know what? I remembered it was honey and lemon. I couldn't remember the order, and I do not use words well, which is an important skill for doing this kind of thing. Last hug.
But the design of the city is insane here. They had to design over 600 like advertisements and different signs just to just be scattered in the background for various products that would exist in this fictionalized version of San Francisco. Those trolleys are still around. They take the classic red trolley, and they kind of put the little Japanese castle motif to the top of it.
Yeah, I also like the fact that the city is not that like nobody's like reacting to this robot walking around, so it's kind of the mixture of very worn down, but also obviously this is a world where technology is fairly advanced.
Mm-hmm. This is supposed to be the year of our Lord 2032, and so just a couple years from now. But it's not as dingy and gross as current San Francisco, which would make sense if it was influenced by the Japanese, because they tend to keep their cities
they do pick up their
clean.
trash a little more.
Yeah. There's probably no San Francisco poop map in this version of San Francisco.
Not if the Tokyo influence has anything to say about it.
Yeah. God, San Francisco. I really liked going on like day trips to San Francisco and stuff like that. I'm about 2.5, 3 hours from San Francisco. It's really a crap hole these days. Like all these places have left it due to crime. Like all these major corporations have moved out of it. It's really not good right now. The long take humor is really good in this movie. Like here he's letting out air, and it's a funny like fart noise.
It's just so much of the humor in this is so basic.
It's like dry.
But it's good basic humor done really, really well. There's a reason why classic jokes that are, and this is the important part that people miss, delivered well.
Yeah. It needs to actually have good pacing, for one. Like, this movie has some issues that I'm not a big fan of. But its pacing is not one of them. We've talked about that a little bit. Very efficient film.
So what are some of the things that about this film that you would tweak or things that bug you.
So again, this came out when I was an adult. I think I was early 20s, and I'd already developed a little bit of a annoyance towards like anime,
Okay.
and I'm just not a big fan. I dealt with a lot of people growing up
Stargate.
who were just obsessed with animated or anime and Japanese culture in a weird way, and I don't like it. It just annoys the crap out of me. And so just to have this be this just like, oh, it's Japan mixed with America. Isn't that just so cool and interesting? And I'm like, no, I hate this.
I have had to ask my, because my daughters are both very into anime, and I've just sorry. Oh, Baymax is just
It's
funny.
a funny scene. It's a funny scene.
Just his. I mean, we definitely, run into the cliche here of the
the super advanced technology can't catch them as they're running because it's necessary for the plot.
Yeah, the speed that our characters can move and that the villains can move, and Baymax, there are times where he moves so fast and the times where he can barely move. It's one of those things, if you think about it, it doesn't make any sense. It's forgivable because it happens all the time in so many films, so it's just.
And in this one, it's exceptionally fun and funny.
Yeah.
It's also the quality of the surrounding that allows you to kind of overlook some of the deficiencies.
Yeah. There you go.
Hey, slow-mo.
Good use of slow-mo. I will say, good use of slow-mo right there.
Well, it really helps show off like what it is that Baymax is capable of.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, I've asked both my daughters before, because you are very into anime. I say, okay. So why does this style immediately make you willing to give something a shot? Where if everything was exactly the same, the story, the characters, the names, everything, but it was drawn in the Western style, and you wouldn't care at all about it. But because it's an anime, and I'm using air quotes on a podcast, you're like, oh, check it out, and just like there's. And that is true of many things. For instance, I could definitely be accused of that. If you set a story in space, I'm instantly going to be more interested in it. So, many people have versions of that. But that definitely is true of anime, and it is frustrating. I sympathize, even though there are some animes that I genuinely like. But there's also just that anytime anybody gets fanned, like fanboy to the point where they will overlook massive problems just because they fan out over one specific aspect of it, to the point where it almost feels like they will dismiss their kind of standard critical thinking skills. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I have a constant debate with people, with some friends of mine that I'll like play D&D with and stuff like that on Monday nights. And they love the anime One Piece. And there's one of them who's a graphic designer, he understands. But there's a couple of them who can't grasp that I find the animation of that particular anime grotesque. It's genuinely gross in so many ways. Like the way that they do lips and the physics and the designs of the character is so ultra stylized in this like organic way. I hate it. But so many just love it.
Yeah.
And it's this constant debate that I'm having in that same way. It's just like, why is it that this show that has this grotesque animation and goes on for over 1,100 episodes?
I'm sorry, I'm listening to you, but I'm also like, this whole sequence.
Oh, yeah,
the whole
low
drunk
battery being like drunk.
Yeah, the battery being drunk, and just this whole.
It's funny.
It's such simple humor. It's just awesome. It's so good.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. It's funny. One Piece, I know nothing about it other than Netflix is doing a live action version of it that people seem to like the second season of. But
the anime has 1,100 episodes.
Oh my gosh.
It's still going.
Okay, I want these spicy wings because face melt. I want face
Yeah.
melting spicy wings. I love
I
spicy
don't.
food.
That sounds awful in every way, and they
Oh.
look buffalo, and I don't like buffalo.
See, I don't like the flavor of buffalo sauce, but like a good spicy sauce that's not buffalo based, I am down for.
Nah, it's a little bit too spicy for me. Oh, in the back, just now you'll see the picture of the cat in a Stitch costume
Oh, you're
right at
right.
his elbow. Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is a good cat, by the way.
Oh, it's a great cat. Just throwing.
Eat the cat.
It was right up the stairs. Oh, poor kitty. How many times my
Hairy
cat said
baby.
that? Hairy baby. I remember seeing that in the what's the word, trailers, and I was just like, "Yep, I'm in. Let's do it."
There is no way Baymax doesn't have more holes in him though after holding a cat.
Vinyl is, pretty tough.
Maybe, but man, I have some scars on my hands from cats. I'll just say that.
Dude, mine too. Oh my god. My wife has a big cat scratch across her chest right now because our cat was just like, "I'm gonna just use you as a launch pad" in the middle of the night.
No, Jen literally, because she would hold our cat, on top of her her right shoulder, and so the back of her right shoulder, like right below her shoulder, and like kind of into her whatever that muscle is, the top corners of your back, just permanent red spots would constantly be there from just the claws. Just digging in because we are scratching posts for them.
Yeah. And
Aw, he's here.
I never know what to actually talk about during these emotional moments.
Well, I think again though, this is though from Baymax's point of view, it is true, and I actually. This is where there's enough of a real thing here where not that a person's still around, but when somebody is gone, we have memories, we have experience, it's like there is something to the kind of lived experience with somebody that does have weight when they're gone, and it's definitely can be taken too far, and the idea of people who just dismiss grief is why are you even like it's not that simple, but they're also I think bringing somebody to
do not joy is for those who transform into the Force.
It's a mixture.
Gave horrendous advice to Anakin. It was terrible.
Oh yeah. Yoda, we can talk about it at some point. No, not in this one, but like Yoda, as much as I love the character, doesn't always, he could have been more helpful a few times. Like if he had done a few things differently.
Well, he represents the problems of the Jedi Order in that because Mace Windu was supposed to represent the Jedi getting too political, where Yoda was supposed to represent the Jedi getting too far up his own ass.
Mm.
And she's watching the original Frankenstein. I love how she just doesn't blink the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the continuing theme here of Baymax just, cooperating essentially.
Yeah.
All in the effort because he just wants to help Hero.
This is the second montage of the movie. This is one of those things where I love montages, so I'll let it slide. This movie has 3, maybe even 4 montages. And it has a montage fake out with Eye of the Tiger there at the beginning when he was going to go to his project. And they fake it out. But now they have montage number 2. Very Iron Man. He even does the spinny thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh,
just like Iron Man did.
This is so Tony Stark inspired, this whole sequence.
Yeah. He's even got a little robot hand there holding his drink. 3D printing, which I want that 3D printer. It was so fast, and he didn't even have to sand off any of the structures. I have concerns.
Why not a threatening,
design.
huggable design?
Yeah, that's also not the right color for armor because it's too nice. Data transfer complete.
He basically built Neo's program for the Matrix right here.
Yeah, it's again so many references, right?
Aw.
And, yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's just sweet. I mean,
Yeah.
it is very sentimental. It is, wears its heart on its sleeve kind of thing. But you know what? I think also, if you think about, kids do need a simplified message just to start, and I think that this is a good one.
Agreed.
Um,
And
Obviously, you would want to expand on it as kids got older. What is he goes to gummy bears here? Gummy bears.
I
want
want
gummy
gummy
bears.
bears. I'm hungry.
I'm about to say, I always get hungry watching these movies. Anytime there's like food references, I'm just like, okay, I want food.
Again, I love the cinematography in this movie for its like fight scenes.
Yeah.
Hey,
He also
fist
managed to
bump.
make his armor feel a little bit Asian too in its design.
Mhm. It's supposed to very kind of like samurai
Yeah.
and it's like textures and stuff like that. Or not textures, that's not the right word. Lines. But okay, the fist bump thing. Teaching artificial life forms or aliens fist bumps, okay? That's a big thing. And I always wonder, like, who was the first of it? When was the first one that inspired, like, we recently both saw Project Hail Mary, right? And they don't have the fist bump in the book Project Hail Mary, but they do in the movie, leading to the rather hilarious joke that is now on shirts of "Fist my bump." And
Oh.
I don't know.
That's not right. That's not how that goes.
That's not right. That's not how it goes. Grace, fist my bump. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, villain was discovered and he moved his hideout. Smart villain.
Yes. How often do you see where they go back and he's still like hanging out there, just waiting for them to come back?
Right. Okay. Have you ever been around a shipping yard at night?
Not in person. Okay. This is why you don't follow your GPS too closely.
Right? He was about to. What is that one? The Office, right?
Oh yeah.
When he follows the GPS, it just drives into a river.
It's a good
lake. Drives into a lake.
It's a good image there of just coming out of the mist.
Mm-hmm. I like what they do with the villain in this thing. Like I like his design. I think he's creepy. I like that he's not who you expect him to be at the end of it. It's
Oh yeah, I was genuinely surprised the first time. And
really?
they do a good job also of just keeping the texture of the microbots just, cool, of just, kind of making the whole thing seem very like organic, but in a very just kind of menacing way.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that they wanted to do is that every time a character controls the microbots, they wanted to have it different to show their mental state. So while Hero's using them, he's talking about like creation. They're very orderly, geometric. And when the bad guy's using them, they're very tentacly. They're very creepy.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
Aw. Require support from friends and loved ones.
Just let the therapy bot. But yeah, watching the movie, I figured out who the villain was at the very beginning, because you don't just hire James Cromwell to voice a character that's gonna die in the first 15 minutes for no reason. It's very just telling.
That's a good scream, by the way. Like, I'm just saying, like, the voice actor there does a good scream.
That's Marlon Wayans, dude.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's
That's what's the name of that freaking show? Coach. That's Coach from New Girl.
Oh, that's right. Wow, it's been a while.
It has been.
Explanation now.
Yeah, Gogo is an actress by the name of Jamie Chung, and she's been in several things. Was never like huge, but very attractive woman. I said Marlon Wayans. This is Damon Wayans.
There's also, again, going with the kind of a very non sports car doing, really high speed stuff is just always, and it's just inherently silly, right?
Yeah.
Having the Vespa, having this like little mini van type thing. Not even a mini. It's like a Fiat type thing.
Almost, yeah. I love this because it just shows the character. It's a red light. Like,
There are no red lights in a car chase.
yeah, it's very fun. Really shows the characters. Like, with Honey Lemon being the optimist, what's the Wasabi being just so extremely anxious and like almost obsessive compulsive anal retentive. And you have her, who's just supposed to be the crazy girl. She's the badass.
I love the. I mean,
reckless.
the gum thing was just fun though too. Of course,
The implication is that she's chewing the same gum through the whole movie and just putting it on stuff until she's ready for it again, and that disgusts me.
it is a little disgusting. This is like a classic animated film where physics have no meaning, right?
And I think that there's a little bit of a bullet in this, this whole, San Francisco car chase. Because it's such an interesting place to do a car chase, but it's so hard to do a car chase because it's so expensive.
Yeah. To film it for real in San Francisco, yeah.
Like when they did it in the bus chase in Shang-Chi, or there's the miniature car chase in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah. Well, it was a big deal when they did the one in The Rock with the Ferrari and the Hummer.
It's been so long since I've seen The Rock that I don't even remember that car chase.
Okay, it was a big deal because they did actually film it in.
Is that a dad movie, Brian?
Oh, that's totally a dad movie.
Rock?
That's such a dad movie.
Next dad movie. Yeah, but like, this is a convenience of like, oh, he's building them a tube for some reason. Like, there's a lot of other ways you could
into the water. I mean, he was directing them, towards the water.
Poor Wasabi though, like, guy's car,
Yeah. It's not like these guys have.
He's a college student in the Bay Area. Underwater car stuff is always freaky. And why is the seatbelt always stuck? Do you just like lose the ability?
Yeah, that is definitely one of those cliches that's a little frustrating.
I mean, I like that they don't dwell on it, and they just Baymax as a life raft is just a great touch, and that water would just be so stinking cold.
Oh yeah. Would you what do you think about the we're gonna get it here in a minute, but the cliche of like, some character who's just dressed like a homeless person is actually crazy rich?
I like it when it's well done because I do think it's funny. And it's really not.
It's still not.
Yeah. I like it. I'm okay with it in this one. I think that it works into their kind of tribute / parody of all the superhero stuff. Like, he's idiot Bruce Wayne. It's Alfred. It's just straight up Alfred from the animated series. Batman the animated series.
Every time he does the ba la la la, I enjoy it.
Yeah. And then there's all this stuff, all these things are references. There's the first Stan Lee reference,
Oh yeah.
So much stuff in this bedroom is a reference to other stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like all the costumes, the action figures.
This would be the weirdest thing I've seen. Oh my gosh.
Right there.
It looks like AI art before AI art was a thing.
Right? Yeah, this right here. With him being a heater. And they make sure that the heater like actually coincided with where his internal structure was based on the previous scene that we had of his internal structure.
There is a tiny bit of actual detective work happening here, with the symbol, because we saw it on his wall when he first discovered it, and then we saw it on the piece of debris he pulled out of the water when Hero found him. So there is, if you've been paying attention, it's like, all right. Dr. Slaughter. Okay,
Chazeltick.
yeah, like
Reed
I want to pause
Axwood.
this and keep looking in the background because there's so
Uh
many
huh. So much.
so
Okay,
many
like
things.
there's a Stitch pillow on his bed. There's there's some aliens from Wreck It Ralph.
His Nerf collection up on the wall there.
Yeah. Uh, the one of the Nerf guns looks like a Halo mask. There's a Power Ranger mask in the back. There's
Which dragon is
legally
that?
different. There's a Satan statue from Wreck It Ralph 2. And it's just like it's pronounced Satine, you know.
Oh gosh, this guy's bedroom is like a nerd's dream.
It is. It is. It looks a little breakable for me. Like I have some breakable stuff around. This is one of those things that's pretty interesting to me.
A little bit,
Like-
you know.
The actual detective work, like if he has the resources, that's not the worst way to go about trying to find the bad guy. You know, you've got his vitals and all of this stuff. It's going to be very unique to him. Yeah. So it's not the worst plot.
Do you
But
think
yeah,
it is a? I mean,
just to
I-
the left is a whole bunch of Power Rangers masks from different Power Rangers
Oh,
eras.
yeah.
I recognize a couple of them from when I was a kid.
do you feel like this is a little bit of a fast transition as far as everybody kind of signing up for doing this?
Not really. They've set up enough that we've kind of. What else could they do at this point?
Yeah.
Also, Honey Lemon is one of the only characters in movies like this where she actually changes clothes.
Oh yeah. She
Like
yeah.
she has like 6 different costumes through this thing. But yeah, I love this little power thing that she's got. You know, throwing the got
the
these-
butler. Oh, he's a good butler.
yeah.
My
Yeah.
kids definitely went through a little bit of a stage of being obsessed with this song.
Dude, this was on one of my playlists back in the day. It is great for like doing stuff, cleaning. It's actually a pretty good running song. The tempo's pretty good for it. But yeah, her character in the original Marvel Comics, Go-Go, it could transform into a ball of energy and speed around. Very much a reference to the character of Samus Aran from the Metroid series.
Oh, the Metroid. Yeah.
Um,
Just
he's
funny.
just so unhelpful.
Oh, where is all this
Like-
going? He's got to let out some air, right?
I was just thinking, like, why doesn't he just kindly request that he let out a little bit of his air, you know? And they're just like, yeah, let's just build him a.
This
It's
would be like
just
the
build him a
worst
super-
idea to give somebody like like him.
Okay, I'm
I-
feeling Halo Blades. Okay,
Yeah. I mean, I do like that. They all have stuff, obviously, that's kind of tied back to the things that they were showcasing at the very beginning when you met them, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And with those things, though, you could really do some unintentional damage if you weren't careful.
Exactly. Very lightsaber. You know.
Yeah.
He has like Aladdin pants though.
Yeah. So then, Hero Suit really is just to kind of ride Betamax around. It doesn't really do much, right?
Why do you keep calling him Betamax?
Because I can't. Sorry. Baymax. I get. You know what? Be
You
nice
call
to
him
me.
anyone.
Butterfly.
But yeah, the childish nature. Do you think that the character is supposed to be an actual AI, or is he just doing his programming?
I mean, there has to be. I mean, maybe not. Even if it's not full AI, there's got to be obviously a learning aspect to his program, right?
I guess it's possible.
Because he's taking. Oh, he has no sense of lawn care
No,
or lawn maintenance. What is that line from Age of
that
Ultron?
man has no regard for lawn maintenance. I like the magnetic hard points. I think that's really clever. The giant gloves, big helmet thing feels very anime also.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
All the designs here have just such a 90s Ultraman, Power Rangers vibe, and I'm here for it.
I almost
And
feel like this is, I mean, the kind of first flight. I mean, it's a very,
no, this is, like I said, How to Train Your Dragon. This is How to Train Your Dragon. Okay? And this is the test flight.
Yeah.
You even have great music. This one done by Henry Jackman. Which, I mean, Henry Jackman does not get enough love. We've talked about some underrated composers in the past, but
I don't even know. Like, what else has he done? I actually don't know. I feel bad now because I'm sure it's going to be some good stuff.
We've talked about him twice already. So I'll go ahead and
I forget things really quickly, unfortunately.
I guess you do. So his first major movie was Monsters and Aliens. Okay.
But
he went on to do things like here's Kick-Ass, X-Men First Class was I think a really big one. Ooh, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, Wreck-It Ralph, G.I. Joe Retaliation, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Kingsman: The Secret Service, The Man in the High Castle, which was excellent, Captain America: Civil War, Kong Skull Island, Jack Reacher, the Uncharted games, The Predator, Detective Pikachu, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Strange World, Battlefield games. Yeah, he's really good.
Okay.
He's only been active since about 2009, so in the world of movie scores, he's actually fairly young.
Okay. There definitely is a little bit of the, I have one kind of test flight where we have one or two little, kind of hiccups about figuring things out, and then all of a sudden, we're, the world's greatest pilot.
Yeah. Well, so one of the things about this movie that bugs me is its structure. I get why they do it. It's not actually a problem, but it's tropey as hell.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have the bonding sequence, which is this test flight. The thing is, they're going to have a mission together, and obviously that mission is going to be a failure. And they're going to fail that mission, and that's going to lead to the interpersonal problems and yada, 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 that will then all be solved and fixed as they go into the third act, and they're going to bond together as a team and start working together, usually through some inspirational quote, and boom, there's they win, and that's the end of the movie.
Yep.
Like, I could see it happening within like the first half hour of the movie,
Yeah, structurally, there's no surprises on this film. Like I said, I missed, James Cromwell acting. So, the idea that the villain was really, the professor. Yeah. Anybody watching this for the first time, sorry. Anyways, the structure, like I said, there's nothing, I think I said a version of this at the beginning. There's nothing about this movie that I would consider remarkable or unique, but it's just enjoyable. And it makes me laugh. And I didn't hate it when my kids wanted to watch it again. And sometimes it's all you need, right?
No, I mean, if this came on, I'd watch it in a heartbeat. I do like this movie a lot. But I remember the feelings the first time that I watched it of just being a little annoyed at how predictable it was. And I don't find Hiro to be the most likable protagonist in the world. He's kind of a little bitch. But at the same time, you kind of need that with him and the Baymax, because Baymax is just so sweet and so nice that you need Hiro to be.
You need a contrast there.
Yeah, you need that contrast. Thank you. I couldn't find that word.
Yeah, but I think of, like, the first Incredibles movie is a truly, like, an amazing superhero film, just like a deconstruction of superheroes, and just like, it's so well acted and voice acted. The animation's amazing. The story is, like, genuinely, there's tropes in there, of course there are, but this is not The Incredibles when it comes to just a truly outstanding take on the science fiction, on the superhero genre. But this is a very entertaining, enjoyable movie, and there's nothing inherently wrong with that.
Yeah. The thing that I didn't predict, or that kind of took me off guard, you could say, was I didn't expect the actual
Sorry.
the
fact that they missed him too.
Yeah.
And I love with those blades just flailing around, right? Just and then this
the damage can be done.
Because this would totally happen. Anytime just
yeah. So those of you who aren't watching, it's a scene where he's trying to cut through a wall with his
how many movies
lightsaber arms.
And how many movies is it just a perfect circle, right? Like like they were out there with a compass,
Yeah. But the thing that I didn't see coming when I was watching this movie the first time was the whole portal subplot. That kind of came out of nowhere, but in a way that I liked. It fit.
Well, I appreciate any time
dimension that could open a lot of other doors for future installments.
Yeah. I also, as much as, again, it is definitely a cliche and it's been done many times, but the idea, the motivation is loss on the villain's side, it's effective. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. And here we have our first hint of what's going on.
Well, we do have the hint here. I did love that earlier, the first time that they were in the villain's lair, that they had the blueprint of the gate, obviously there on the wall.
Yeah. And you didn't know what that was at the time, though?
No.
But yeah, here we're coming up on our favorite Easter egg. And one of the reasons why we even started covering this movie is because we were talking about it and made me think about it, is that this has what has to be a reference to the TV show and movie of Stargate. Okay? They're dealing with these portals. They're in a secret government lab. The portal's blue. They have this general sitting here who's bald and Air Force general. They have the vision of the command center, and it looks just like Stargate Command.
Oh, yeah.
And
there's just no way this wasn't inspired. You're right.
I watched so many different videos asking, doing breakdowns of Easter eggs and references in this movie, and none of them brought up Stargate. Look at that. That's freaking General Hammond.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Even though it's not a Stargate because they can go back.
Yes. Yeah, obviously, yeah, it's not exactly. Yeah, that absolutely is General Hammond. The ramp up to the gate, the blue. It's very much a Stargate.
Mm-hmm. And again, this is the character of Alistair Cray, which I wonder if he's named after the Cray computers, the old Cray 2.
Oh yeah, the old supercomputers. Featured heavily in many Tom Clancy novels.
Yeah. But I just think that Alan Tudyk didn't need to be this character. It could have been anybody. There's no reason.
Yeah, he doesn't bring anything. Alan Tudyk, he's very funny. His voice has a quality where he wants to be humorous. He can be, obviously. So it's the quality he has definitely isn't necessary here. But I also I love the fact that Disney basically just puts him in everything now.
Yeah, he's great. Have you watched? I almost said Residual. Resident Alien at all?
I've seen the first season and most of the second season.
As
much as I like him, I didn't I kind of got disconnected with the show a little bit. I didn't.
Same. I thought it was very good, but I only watched a little bit of the first season. I just thought that it was very quality.
He's great. He's very funny. Okay, again, the whole hero thing, the villain thing, where you just, you walk away like you just assume that I got him. That kind of false arrogance.
Got him. Yeah.
What's the plan?
You're obviously seeing that this is the failure, right? They're not a good team. They don't know how to work together. They haven't practiced. They're amateurs at this.
Yeah.
And so naturally,
what is the plan? Yeah. And it's, I mean, it does work, and it's done so often because, yeah, it'd be like, what, did you guys expect us to waltz in and nail this thing without any,
Yeah.
It takes practice. I mean, it takes so much time to be able to work effectively as a team. There's a reason why in real life it takes years for really effective
like
teams.
Hours and hours of drills and practice, like anybody in the military would know.
Yeah.
Like, what do we do today? Drills.
Yeah. We're going to practice again.
Again and again.
I do like
and
that
again and
they kind of mess each other up, though, the idea that they get in each other's way.
again.
Oh, he's like, all right, I got to get...
Yeah, his suit design is the weirdest one to me. Like, I don't understand the armored torso mixed with, like, the Aladdin pants.
Yeah, it's weird because it just seems like he'd be very vulnerable.
Yeah. Bye.
Aw.
Yeah, because Go-Go's suit's good. It's. I'm not a big fan of the color, but I understand why they would do it that way. I think
So-
that. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, right there, it's like, they know it's like go for the mask, right? And he just
Yeah.
flew right by him and had time. I'm curious why he didn't grab his mask.
Because narrative.
He had to have this reveal.
Exactly. It's gonna be like, oh my god, Tadashi? Like, the people I was watching this with were like, oh, it's totally gonna be the brother, right? And I'm like, no, it's gonna be James Cromwell. It's not, like, I couldn't even remember the name of the professor. I'm just like, it's gonna be freaking Farmer Hoggett.
It's Mr. Big Nose instead of Mr. Pointy Nose.
Exactly. I had your microbots.
Got the little flashback.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny because I do remember the first time I watched this when it was the idea that, okay, there was just a fire and all the microbots like died in the fire. It's like, okay, what kind of fire would destroy machines like that?
Well, I mean, I was actually thinking about that. If he 3D printed them, they might have just been plastic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I always just assumed they were metal. That's one of the reasons why I was wondering about how he was fabricating them. Because they seemed like metal. But yeah, like there must be some kind of 3D printing now. I mean, I know and technically there is metal 3D printing.
Yeah,
This,
it's weird.
I actually did think that this was a pretty effective sequence.
Yeah.
The music.
This has that kind of Iron Giant vibe, with the red eyes. That Hulk Avengers, okay?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, this is one of the better moments of the movie because he's genuinely scary.
Well, and the thing is again, the contrast is so stark of just his action. Again, the music, the way that it's shot, just oh, man.
Listen, Henry Jackman, he deserves some kudos for his scores.
That's good.
Yeah.
But they don't let it go on. They don't let it drag too hard. It's, I mean, that was probably maybe a minute. It was a good minute.
Less even possibly.
Yeah. Like honestly, that's that and the initial like in the bedroom when Baymax comes out and they're kind of when all this stuff's falling, like their introduction in his bedroom and that I think are the two best sequences in the movie.
Agreed. I really like the later flashback of Tadashi building it.
It was good.
I think that's a great scene. And then I like his little, like, my programming has been violated. I think that's a really good character thing for Baymax. It really keys you in as to how he would react to the change that he was forced to undergo.
Yeah. Well, then his poor team, they're just stuck there on the island. Like, how do they even get out?
Obviously, Fred called somebody to come pick him up in a helicopter.
Yep. No, I like this, too. This is the idea that he won't. I mean, when he taps his thing, and just nothing. It's effective again because you're right. Hero is not a. You sympathize his situation, like how he's feeling, but they never let you feel like he's justified. You know what I mean? Like you empathize with how he feels, but they walk that line well of not having you agree with him.
Will terminating Professor Callahan improve your emotional state? That's terrifying. Hey, will you feel better if this guy's dead?
Hmm.
Womp womp.
It was effective when you have music building and then you just stop the music.
Yeah, that's always a good cue.
Yeah.
Okay, like look at his armor here, and just like they add the scuffs and everything that wasn't there earlier. I love little details like that.
Mm-hmm. So hopefully he's got a TV right in his stomach. I mean, I know it's not out of nowhere. It's been used many times, but yeah, this whole sequence is really good.
With great power comes great responsibility. Oh wait, wrong dead family member mentor.
It's just great. Hey, at least you designed a huge marshmallow to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
Tell this guy has been in his lab for too long.
Right? Well, this actually reminds me a lot. I know that I've talked about this many, many times on the show, but I recently watched through the TV show Person of Interest.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a montage very similar to this, showing various recordings of the character of Finch building his machine in the first 35 iterations. And it's filmed very much like this and shown very much like this as he's troubleshooting and ends up being forced to kill 35 different versions of his machine.
Yeah.
Before he finds one that's programming doesn't turn into a megalomaniacal crazy robot.
Because that's where you got to know him along with his business partner back at the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, this was in the second or third season as they're going into a little bit more of his thing, but the show was filled with flashbacks. So.
Yeah, constantly.
Jonathan Nolan loves flashbacks. He loves payphones that randomly ring. He loves AIs that come to life, and he's really rather predictable.
Yeah.
But what he does really well. Go watch Fallout, Westworld, first season of Westworld, anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the best writers, they still have their strengths, their tropes, and it's just true of musicians, it's true of writers, even actors, and directors. You just kind of find that thing that they just do well. That's why I think somebody who can do more than one thing is so, lauded, because it's so rare.
Yeah, somebody who has range. Yeah.
So, I mean, kudos to these guys to come here and not just not give them a hard time, to come and be empathetic and supportive instead of come back and be like, dude, what the heck?
Went crazy.
Happened back there. You left us on the
murderer.
Island. You went off your rocker. You messed with me.
Oh wait, he just mentioned it. He got the family chopper.
Oh, the family chopper. Yeah.
I was literally making a joke. I forgot that was actually part of the plot.
It's his daughter.
Yeah, just play the video.
They got the answer really fast.
Right? No detective work necessary.
That was not even a montage of coming through footage, right? Just immediately. Yeah. There you go. That is a heck of an enhancement, by the way.
Right?
That is a high-resolution security camera.
Well, I mean, if I was going to put a high-resolution security camera anywhere, it would be there.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Because at that point, it's not even a security camera. It's a scientific observation for a multi-billion-dollar project. They're going to have an 8K extra, extra zoomy,
Yeah. I do like the craze with an I. It's not how you would expect to spell it, right?
Right.
Just a little.
Like when I heard Cray, I thought CRAY or CUREY.
Well, you said like the supercomputers back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, supercomputers that are outclassed by our smartphones by today's standards.
Yeah. Well, just the idea of running. I remember again, was it Hunt for Red October? The idea of running a particle simulation with water required,
something that could be so easily done on Unreal Engine these days.
Oh yeah. Yeah, video games, synthesize that all the time now.
Yep. And these structures, this is cool.
Yeah, this is cool.
It's nonsense, but it's cool.
Yeah. I do appreciate that they part of the solution is that there is a finite supply of these things that he's got, right?
Yeah.
And that plays into it. That I mean, for all of the normal nonsense of just physics having nothing to do with, G forces as he's flying around the city, and the car chase. There's so many things where it's just nonsense physics, but they at least do, he's not got an unlimited supply of these things, right?
Nope, no unlimited ammo here.
And the fact that all this, that they actually use his own decision to turn this thing on to be kind of what undoes him, because it is where, they're able to use it against the microbots.
Yeah, no, that's definitely clever writing. I always really liked that. They don't do much with the character of Cray.
No, he's just kind of a plot
he's
device.
He's a red herring.
Yeah. And even Callahan is, I mean, not developed in any way. It's, I mean, as much as it's a very sympathetic, idea of just, a dad who lost his daughter, that's it. You don't get anything else other than the fact that he was, he was trusted by his brother. And it's very shallow. It works in a kid's movie, in a movie that's this short.
Yeah.
But there's nothing there that's remarkable.
No, his interestingness as a villain comes largely from his powers and his design.
Yeah.
That's the way that a lot of villains tend to be, unfortunately. And then you get ones like that we've seen before, people like Ronan the Accuser from Guardians of the Galaxy, or Malekith from Thor the Dark World, that aren't interesting enough to be memorable,
Yeah.
Or they're mainly remembered for being a waste or wasted. Yeah. Nice. I love that.
I do. So good. Oh man. The of course, the just random things that keep being just enough to hold them. I don't know. Again, there should be more pull on him, I guess.
Yeah. Look for a new angle. That's their whole thing. Think outside the box. Look for a new angle. I am very clever.
Well, I mean, again, they're going back to, what his brother taught him, right? When he was holding him on his back and the suit.
It's a suit. The science spinning thing's really funny. Again, I think that these are some sort of like high polymer plastic,
You're probably right.
Or like carbon fiber, maybe.
Yeah, the gum again.
Yeah. Like, imagine the G-forces on that, okay?
Oh, she'd be dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All Baymax needed was a little motivation, right? The hero.
Yeah, all Baymax needed was a little motivation. The design of his abilities are really cool. Like the whole power fist thing is really great. I love how they integrated into the arm. Every single time that he fires it, like the arm has to open back up and come back into it. I like the detailed design work.
Hero landing. He did the classic hero landing there.
Dude, there's like 4 hero landings in this thing. I think 2 of them are done by Fred. Smokescreen.
Of course, like they can all kind of magically now anticipate each other perfectly.
Yeah. I really like that the setting for this climax is different. It's really interesting. There's the added issue of the wormhole. It's got the smokescreen cloud below. It's got these really kind of alien tentacle looking things. I think it's really smart. And like the gravity issue. I so wanted to see a sequel because the ideas of especially Honey Lemon's powers combined with everybody else's so interesting and so good, but it never gets explored to like even 1/10 of its potential in this movie.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's just the goofiness here.
Oh yeah,
like
I mean this is just
on fire,
Well, I mean, I guess it was worth it. At that point though, it's like I hope you don't need to do anything else.
Yeah, They realized that she's too powerful, so they had to just have her blow up her bag.
This is a good
But
reveal
she's
here,
so
though. When he goes to like do something more and like has nothing left,
Yeah,
and then, like the fog
Like-
clears. Like this is it's a good reveal, just to kind of the payoff for all the work being done by the team down below.
SpaghettiOs. Yeah, because it's like I don't think that he can track how many microbots he has at his disposal. It's not like he has a heads-up display in there. It's just kind of a mental thing, isn't it?
Okay, I want to know the physics of Beta. Is he like just perfectly counter thrusting now? He just knows exactly what to counter thrust
Yeah.
against the suction.
Probably. That'd be my guess. Because I actually like that detail because he's not just like hovering. They took into account the fact that the gravitational pull is going up towards the singularity, so they had him counter thrusting through that.
That makes sense, I guess.
Oh, no.
And then here we go.
And I remember actually this moment and being like disappointed, of like, oh, okay, we're gonna have the sacrifice play naturally.
Well, this is, I mean, obviously they don't have like
the
the nuke going on, but this is also very Iron Man inspired, right? With the end,
Iron Man?
Sorry, the end of Avengers with Iron Man.
Oh, I thought you were saying Iron Giant.
No, I mean, Iron Giant had it also, but yeah, I feel like this is very much. I mean, obviously not exactly. He's not taking a weapon through, but the idea of to go and kind of through the portal, and you're probably not coming back.
Yeah. You'll never make it. And the added thing of the daughter being alive, I don't know. It was weird to me. Like, I think that they needed the extra motivation to have him go through the portal, and that's the only reason why she's still alive. I guess it works. It's just, I don't know. I think it's
I mean, I think
pointless,
it's
like,
yeah. I suspect that there was a. This is a weird place, by the way. I feel like Doctor Strange
Okay.
should feel.
it's like Ant-Man, okay? It's the quantum realm. Look at it. It's designed just like the quantum realm from Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp and Ant-Man and Quantumania,
Okay.
in which this was being made around the same time. In fact, I think this came out a year before Ant-Man, and they look identical.
But I wonder if the that's very lucky that this worked out this way. The I feel like they just had on a whiteboard, Baymax sacrifice, hero learn lesson. Like that was probably on a whiteboard in a writer's room, and they came up with something in order to make that happen.
Yeah, I feel like this is narratively the weakest part of the movie, but in terms of like the lesson, it's important. But that's why they had to go kind of weird with the visuals and the physics and everything. They needed it to be entertaining and interesting enough,
Yeah.
and so yeah, like you said, they were like, okay, this is what needs to happen. It needs to be the Iron Giant, but we need to make it interesting and unique. And I guess that's one of the issues that I have with the movie. I haven't been able to properly articulate it. This movie feels like if you gave it certain parameters, this movie feels like something that could be churned out by AI in terms of its plot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I need a superhero team movie. Each of the superheroes needs to be a little bit different, and it needs to take place in something that's like half Japanese, half American. And these are the lessons, and this is what it needs to be based on. How to Train Your Dragon, Iron Man, blah, blah. And this is what ChatGPT would pump out. Like, word for word,
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Because I actually don't. I mean, I know
that's
this is
no shade towards the writers. I know that they have a very difficult job, but it feels like it was written with an objective, and the objective was to make money by copying things before it that were better.
Yeah. Well, like I mean,
it just happens to have turned out really good.
Yeah, let's just say we've said versions of this multiple times during this episode, and it's very true. This is an example of a very basic tropey story done really well.
Mm.
And it really is. And it doesn't mean that the people involved don't get credit. Doesn't mean that there wasn't talent involved. Of course there was. If it was easy to do, it would be done all the time. But this movie, for as much as I love it, doesn't have anything more to offer than that.
Yeah, because thinking about movies like they came out before it, right? Tangled and Frozen and whatnot. You know, same studio, a lot of the same production staff, things like that. They went on to go do Zootopia. Those were all very unique, very different, and I feel like this doesn't really stand in the same category as them, even if it is in a lot of ways more entertaining and have a broader audience appeal. It's just its plot doesn't really service the setting very well. Like, I want something a little bit more crazy and bombastic for them to deal with, which is one of the reasons why I was so disappointed that they never got a sequel, because I wanted to see more of these characters and their powers. This
seems
was
like
just such an appetizer, you know?
Yeah, this definitely is something. Seems like something that the right sequel could have really eliminated all the complaints that we do have. And they're not even really complaints. I actually, I'm not complaining about any of that. I would call them just observations about this film.
I think that there was a half-life to the sequel, and it's passed.
Yeah,
I
because
think they
this
needed
movie
to make another one within 5 years, and it's 12 years old now.
As much as this movie is well regarded and kids like it, it's not one of those, like, if you I don't have the exact numbers right off the top of my head, but I know that there's certain movies that like have a life on Disney Plus where they're watched all the time, even though they're old. It just kids continue to watch them, and they continue to rank really, really high. I think Moana is one of those. Obviously, Frozen is. There's a few, and this is not one of them, unfortunately. I think if it did, I think that's the one thing that could breathe life into this again. If Disney was going, hey, kids have been watching this thing. It's been in the top 10 of Disney, Disney Plus streams for years. So that might mean something, but it's just, it's not, I'm sure it's watched, but it's definitely not up there in the kind of the noteworthy category of some of the other franchises and IPs that have just continued to live on in streaming kind of forever.
I think that you've hit it partially on the head. I think one of the reasons why a sequel was made to this, I bet that it didn't sell merch like they were expecting.
Yeah.
I bet it was a merchandising thing. This is my personal theory. And
Disney
that
does love merch.
Yeah, they love their merchandising. They didn't sell merchandise the way that they wanted, and because of that, they didn't do it. They didn't do a sequel because its audience was the older crowd. I think that it appealed a lot more towards people who wanted to have 3D prints of Aunt Cass and Honey Lemon more than, little kids who wanted a toy Baymax. That's my theory.
No, I hadn't even thought about that. And because I mean, you would need two things. You would need an enduring love of the franchise itself, and then for Disney to, because I mean that's where so much success is. You got to sell the toys.
Well, I mean, that was Star Wars' success. I mean, the smartest thing that what's his face ever did was
I'll get the merch rights.
He self-financed his own movies, but his whole thing was that he got 100% of the merchandise. And Star Wars sold merchandise so much, it literally turned him into a billionaire before the year 2000, which was rare as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. A little bit of a kind of a voiceover montage there at the end.
Yeah, and I don't like that at all.
Now, are these end credits? Is this in the style of the comics?
Sort of. I looked at a few of them, and it's close. It's very similar to the 2008 run, but these characters didn't appear in the 2008 run. They're amalgamations or interpretations of. So it's like the movie version in comic book form.
Man of Action.
Yeah.
What is Man of Action? It's
I
like,
didn't actually look at that.
is that actually like is that a
Oh.
person? And that's like what do you call it?
Um,
A pen name?
maybe
Is that the term? Is that the term for an author? A pen name?
a pen name. Yeah. Like Stephen King actually had a different pen name that he published several other books under, which is funny because he wanted to see if his book sold because of quality or because of his name.
I like the little detail given the guy some tape dispenser back.
So yeah, Man of Action. The hell is Man of Action? Man of Action Studios. It's an American writing collective.
Okay.
It's a studio. Interesting.
All right.
Oh, Joe Kelly. Interesting. Oh, they made stuff like Ben 10, the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes animation. Ooh, Ultimate Spider-Man, which was actually a really good show from like 2012. Lots of comics and graphic novels, some really good stuff. So it was some really bad stuff. I hated American Virgin. I thought it was stupid.
The what?
American Virgin. It's this weird like.
I've heard of that, but never seen it. But yeah, that would
it's-
always looked like something I wouldn't like.
No, it's kind of gross. It just has that feeling. The story follows a teenager who is a born-again Christian preacher, but secretly struggling with sexuality and faith.
Of course.
So, naturally, it gets
Well,
not
Hollywood-
fun for those of us on the conservative
I had
side.
to say, Hollywood does really love, Christians and conservatives who are secretly really, really evil.
Oh no! This is the Christians and conservatives who are just denying who they really are, and they need to break away from that or compromise their faith and have just like do all kinds of things. Yeah. Anyway, that's fun.
Yeah.
Immortals is a fun song. I like the end of it. I like that they use it here at the end.
Yeah, it is fun. I like the little, sitting on top of the balloons, kind of just an interesting little aesthetic detail of the city. Are they for weather? Are they for surveillance? Are they for decoration?
Oh, no, they're supposed to be for power generation. They're wind.
For wind.
This is actually based on real things.
Okay.
They don't work super well at the moment, but they are real.
Okay.
There's a chance that by 2032, we might be able to have it better than that.
Yeah, I wish I had more to say about this in a way, but this is a movie that I enjoy. I mean, you heard how many times I laugh out loud during this movie. I think there's plenty of times where just classic jokes, very standard humor, but just super well executed, can be, plenty to just entertain you. And again, not cringe when your kids want to watch it for the 10th time.
Yeah.
And this is also a movie, I feel like, even though it does look really good, so I'm thinking back on my experiences, this is a movie you can listen to, play in the background, and still get, because so much of the humor is actually the dialogue. So
yeah, no, I could see that. This is one of those movies that I have actually like done like actual housework and stuff while it's playing in the background when I was looking after former in-laws and stuff like that. And it is one of those that I have no problem. I'd stick it on for my nieces if it kept them entertained. Though I don't know if my niece's parents would like that at the moment. They're kind of weird about movies. And I know Taryn listens to these, so sorry, you guys are kind of weird about what they can watch and what they can't.
How old are they now? The kids?
3 and 2.
Okay. I'm actually...
5? 4?
I know. I mean, I think under
How long have
5.
they been married?
You do want to be carry
3.5 and 2.5.
Okay. I am somebody who thinks that under 5 you need to be pretty careful with kids, honestly. So
I was raised different. I was watching Rocketeer when I was 4 years old, and I'm fine. I'm normal.
I raised my kids on old stuff. So
yeah, I mean, I was watching Pops and Star Trek at 4 and 5. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I
So
let my I mean, the big thing for me was that we didn't have, it was just what was on DVD and what we got from Netflix. We never had like broadcast television, and our kids were just, my kids are just old enough that like the streaming, like the big streaming explosion didn't happen until they were, well into elementary school. And so, I had the DVDs of all of the DC animated stuff, and we did a lot of that. And it was right around when the classic Disney stuff was all getting its DVD releases, released from the vault, that whole phase of physical media. Beauty and the Beast, it's coming out of the vault. Buy it now. You'll never get it again. Until we host a streaming service in 10 years, you can have it forever.
Right? Okay, so I have a question. In case Taryn actually listens this far, would you want to prevent a 3.5-year-old from saying the word stupid?
Depends on the context and how often they wanted to use it.
Because we're talking about babysitting again, and Rissa, my wife, and I love Lilo and Stitch, and I'm like, oh, I want to watch Lilo and Stitch, but they're weaning them off Lilo and Stitch because kids love it because they started saying stupid head. Kind of like a Stitch being like stupid head.
Stupid head.
And I don't know enough about raising kids to be like, kids are going to say stupid. But I'm like, is that actually a thing? Like, as a parent, you want to prevent them from saying stuff like stupid, or under 5, you want to watch out for stuff like that in movies.
Yeah, I'm mixed on that. I think that parents get to be quirky with their kids, and they're, it's one of those things where I always want to tell parents, be careful, because if you overdo the list of rules and clamping down on all kinds of things, you will absolutely win that battle for a long time. Your kids are too little to fight against it, right? But you are going to create pent up desire for that later in life, and then you're going to have a kind of a reaction later where you kind of almost have like whiplash about it. At the same time, parents who just let their kids do anything, I think, is also just awful. There's a happy medium there, and I do think though that what I would call non-profane profanity, where it's just all about kind of silly insults and they can be. It can be an issue. Yeah, they have a full post-credit sequence and everything here.
Yeah. So that's why I was just kind of making conversation during the credits, because we have this post-credit scene, and it has all this really classic 60s era looking superhero stuff, and it's a full Stan Lee cameo as his dad. I despise this joke about underwear. It makes my skin crawl.
Oh, it's so nasty.
Like, for those of you who haven't seen it, it's this idea of like you can wear underwear like 4 times in a row, front and back, like inside out. It's so
So you're just like rotating the skid mark around your body in your clothing.
Yes,
it's so
as you're creating
nasty.
New skid marks.
Oh, it's so nasty.
And at 2 points, it would involve taking the skid mark and putting the skid mark onto your junk.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. But no, I think that for any parent, I mean, and I have a lot of respect and like your sister quite a bit. She's a wonderful, wonderful person. And Jonathan, I don't know quite as well, but respect there too. And
you'd get along with him really well.
For any parent out there, I think that every parent has got their things that they're just like, I don't want this in my house, whether it's language or a certain type of, I mean, we had mine too. We had things that I was just like, no, I'm not doing this. That I had other parent. I don't want to go in all the details, but it's just like every parent I've ever known has something like that. And, you got to find, this is a very cliche thing to say, but it's also, I think, very true. You got to kind of pick your battles. You live in the world,
I mean,
unless you want to go full Amish, unless you want to vanish and just isolate yourself, which will still cause a problem later in life, quite often.
Oh yeah, I know a family that did that. One of the kids ended up a serial killer.
Yeah, you just have to pick your battles, and I do think that when it comes to absolutes with your kids, you got to pick a couple key things that really matter, and then past that, I think you got to relax a little bit. I have no doubt that every parent who would listen to this would have a different list of things that one parent would say like, no, that's a non-negotiable. Another
Okay.
parent would be like, whatever, it doesn't matter. So it's such a personal thing with so many very strong emotions tied to it that yeah,
Okay,
it's a hard one.
my mom hated the show Friends and similar sitcoms to it. But you know what? She would love to watch and would watch with us. And I'm like 10 years old at this point. Is the show Scrubs?
Just has just as much joking about casual sex and all that stuff, and
Dude, it's worse.
yeah,
I mean, they have like full sex scenes and
yeah,
like yeah, and partial nudity in some scenes. And yeah, so I always
I
have
hear
this
you.
like weird thing about media content and kids, like that
Well, and
I don't know the balance, and I'm like, if I have kids, how will I handle that? And would I show them Big Hero 6 at a young age, wanting to be like, look at this cool superhero thing, or is it going to scare the crap out of them?
yeah, I don't know.
Or are they going to start being anal retentive like Wasabi?
Maybe. I would say most of the time it comes down to parents have a pet peeve about a certain type of character or a specific type of joke or um, there's just stuff like that. And it's as human as anything else, right? You have people who just like, I don't like that, or that bothers me. My mom had it with certain musical artists that she was just, to this day, she'll be like, refuse to even acknowledge that they're talented people objectively because she just
Mm.
doesn't like their personal life choices. But then I'm like, but there are other artists that do the same thing, and every every single human I think has their personal hangups that they will defend as being objective and like having all this reasoning behind it. And at the same time, hypocritically have things where they will just casually dismiss things because they like it.
Yeah, I mean,
We're
I
all
think
guilty of
that
that.
that's very similar to me in anime. I have a bone to pick with anime in some way, but at the same time, I also enjoy some of it,
Yeah.
and I enjoy similar media, but I just don't enjoy anime.
The what I'll say, and then let's wrap this up because I am fading it. I'm sorry. The My biggest pet peeve with any of these things, whether it's parenting or entertainment opinions or anything, is people who do not have the self-awareness to talk about it, where they just double down on, no, this is just, this is bad, or this is wrong, or I don't like it, or that's not funny, or it's not actually good in any,
Well,
and just
Star Wars
and
fans.
have no self-awareness about their opinion versus somebody else's opinion, what the differences can be. There are things that I'll argue are objectively bad, no matter who you are. I don't care what you're, but I still understand the difference and I can have the conversation. I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means, and the things that I'm like, I really like this and I understand why you might not. And I, try to have this, this self-awareness to know the difference. It's the people who make me actually angry and or frustrated to a like almost physical level are people with strong opinions but no self-awareness.
Yeah. And no, I completely understand. And you're right. We should be wrapping this up. Big Hero 6. I give this movie like a 7 out of 10 because narratively bland but emotionally effective. It's a conglomeration ripoff of a lot of better things that came before it, but at the same time, it's also good enough and stylistically outstanding enough to make up for that fault.
Yeah,
I
I would.
wish that we would have gotten more.
Yeah, I would. I would. Yeah, I would definitely would have loved to see what they could have done with a proper sequel. And like I've said several times now, anything that makes me laugh out loud, I kind of instantly give a little extra credit for because there are plenty of funny things that don't make me laugh out loud. I don't know why that's my personal line, but it is. So yeah, no, this is fun. This is a movie that I enjoyed watching with you, and I'm sure I'll watch this again. And this is one that I look forward to showing my grandkids one day. Because
Yeah.
I do think this is a movie that you could show not like super young. If you asked me for an age, I'd probably say like 6 or 7 is when I'd probably show this to a kid.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that.
But it depends on the kid. It really does. So, anyways, this has been awesome, my friend. Looking forward to next week. Something a little bit
Yes.
different than this.
Now it's time for something completely different.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
There's doors and corners, kid. If you don't clear the room, if you don't come in slow,